Welcome to Fair Square Medicare's How-To series. In this session, we're going to show you how to apply for Medicare. There are three ways you can apply for Medicare. The first is in person with an appointment. The second is over the phone with an appointment. Both of these processes can take several weeks just to book an appointment. We don't recommend doing this unless you're unable to book online. The third option is to apply online at ssa.gov. This is by far the fastest way to apply for Medicare. When you apply online, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. You'll need a few things before we get started. First, you'll need access to a computer with internet. You'll need a socialsecurity.gov account login. If you haven't already set one up, see our How to Set Up a Social Security Account video. And third, you'll need some basic information like your Social Security number, birthplace, city and state, and your current health insurance information. From your computer, open your web browser and navigate to ssa.gov. You'll know you're on an official government website if you see this American flag here. From the landing page, you'll see a few options. Under this section that says Apply, click on Sign Up for Medicare. On the next page, you're going to choose Apply Now under the Sign Up for Medicare section. Go ahead and click the box stating that you understand and agree to the above statements, and then click Next. From this page, you'll have two options. You can either start a new application or return to a saved application. Later on, we'll receive a code that allows you to return to your saved application. For now, click on Start a New Application. Go ahead and answer these questions about who's completing the form. Typically, the answer will be, I'm applying for myself. And it will ask if you have a My Social Security account. If you've already set up an account through login.gov, click Yes, and then Next. That's going to take you to the login page. If you have an existing Social Security account that you set up prior to September 18, 2021, you can enter your details here. If you walked through the previous video and learned how to set up a login.gov account, click on that logo and we'll log in there. When you log in through login.gov, they are going to send you a text message to the number that you provided previously for authentication. Go ahead and type that text code that they send you into this box and then click Submit. The first step of the application is to provide some basic information about yourself. You're going to provide your home address and confirm if you do or do not live at this address. And then you'll also provide a phone number and the best hours to reach you. This is in case the person reviewing your application needs to discuss any part of it with you. It's unlikely that they'll call you, but it's important to provide this. Further down, you'll provide your email address. You'll need to put this in twice just to make sure that you've typed it out correctly. When you complete your application, you'll receive a confirmation at this email address to show that you've completed it. And then finally, you'll want to select your language preferences. As shown here, we've selected English by clicking Yes on all three, and then selecting English from the drop-down menus. Once you've done that, click Next. On this page, you'll need to provide your city and state of birth, and then answer the citizenship questions. Click Next. This page is going to ask you two questions. They can be a little tricky. The first one is, do you wish to apply for Medicare only, but not for monthly retirement cash benefits? What they're asking is, do you want just Medicare, or do you want Medicare and Social Security retirement benefits? For most people, they're going to choose yes. I just want Medicare. So you'll answer yes here. If you are wanting to begin Social Security benefits at the same time, then you would check no. No, I want Medicare and Social Security benefits. The next question states, are you already enrolled in Medicare under a Social Security number other than your own? For most people, the answer to this is no. At this point, you will receive that re-entry number that we mentioned earlier. Go ahead and take note of this and write it down. Keep it someplace safe. I also recommend that you click print this page and keep that as well for your records. So print this page here. If you remember, we told you at the beginning of this process that you could put a code in to pick up where you left off. That was on this first page where we started our new application. So if you wanted to come back at a later time and finish your application, you could come to this page and click Return to Save Application Process and enter in the code. On the next page, it's going to have you verify some information. Have you used any other Social Security numbers? For most people, the answer to this is no. If you're not sure if it applies to you, go ahead and click on this More Info, and it will give you some information to let you know which way you should answer the question. Again, it will ask if you've used any other names. Some examples would be if you have a different name at birth or if you had a maiden name. You want to go ahead and answer yes and enter those possible aliases in. Again, if you're confused about what applies, go ahead and click on that More Information button to find out. Once you've answered these questions, click Next. On this page, it's asking, do you want to enroll in Medicare Part B? For most people, Part A is automatic once you've completed this application. So when you click yes, you're essentially agreeing to both Medicare Part A and Part B. It doesn't state that explicitly, but that's what this question means. If you were to answer no to this question, you would get only Medicare Part A. In order to begin Medicare coverage with most plans, you will need Part A and Part B. So most people, again, will answer this as yes. It's also going to ask if you have other health insurance coverage. Are you receiving Medicaid? This is state health insurance. For most people, the answer to this is no, but go ahead and answer yes if it applies to you. Again, you can click on this More Information tab if you're not sure. The next question will say, are you covered under a group health plan? What they're trying to determine is if you have employer group health insurance. If you're still working, or if you have a spouse or partner that's still working and you receive your benefits through that employer plan, the answer is likely yes. So if you answer yes to this, these are the following questions that they'll ask you to complete. It'll ask for your dates of employment start and end, and your health insurance start and end. Do your best to provide as accurate a date as you can. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Give us your best guess. If you're still working or you still have access to that health insurance and you don't have an end date, you have a box here you can check on each item. You would answer no to this question if you currently have a retirement plan and are not working, individual health insurance through Obamacare or the state exchange, also known as an ACA plan, or if you have COBRA coverage through a former employer. Again, those would all be scenarios where you answer no. The only time you would answer yes is if you're currently working or your spouse is working and you have group health insurance. Once you finish this section, click Next. On the final page, there's an opportunity for you to provide some additional comments or remarks. If you're brand new to Medicare and just turning 65, go ahead and leave this blank. There are scenarios if you're applying for Medicare later, after working and delaying, where you might want to enter in some details here, like asking for a specific date to start your Part B coverage. But for most people, just leave it blank and then click Next. On the final page, it's going to ask you to review your information to make sure everything's accurate. Go ahead and take a moment just to verify everything that's in here. Make sure there's no typos or mistakes. At the bottom of that page, you will need to click this box for the electronic signature agreement. Once you've done that, you're ready to submit your application, and you'll click on the Submit Now button. Finally, you'll receive a confirmation code. Go ahead and write this code down, or you can view and print a receipt. This is a good idea to print if you have that ability, or to write this number down in case you need to reference this later. Once you've done that, click Done at the bottom. Next, you should receive an email at the email address you provided. It should come from do-not-reply@ssa.gov. This is just to confirm that you have submitted an application online. Go ahead and keep this email for your records. This is a great indication that your application has been successfully submitted, if you have that confirmation number and this email, you can expect that your application will be processed somewhere in around 2 to 4 weeks. Again, it can take longer depending on how backed up Social Security is in processing these applications, but generally most people get a response within 2 weeks. If you log into your Social Security account after applying, you will see that your application is in one of 3 steps. Step 1 verifies that they have received your application. It is complete. Step 2 is when they're reviewing your application. And then finally, step 3 verifies that your application has been completed and approved. Once you see that you're in step 3, that means that you have a Medicare number. Your agent can help you obtain that number and get enrolled in a plan right away. The easiest way to get that number once you see step 3 is to log into your Social Security account. And on your landing page, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see something like print or save your benefits verification letter. When you click on that, it'll ask you to save it, and you open that PDF. And in the body of the letter, it will say your Medicare ID number. If you don't see an ID number in the letter, that means they haven't completed your application. And that's the end of our process on how to apply for Medicare benefits. Be sure to talk with your agent about next steps and picking out the right plan for you.